Did he get it? Yes, he did. Game over.
Are you kidding me? What else can Trey Turner do for you?
So how about that for some excitement at the ballpark last night? 21 games left, and one of the great moments in recent Nationals history. Hey, don't forget about Daniel Murphy. He's been carrying this offense all year long. Leads the league in hitting. So FP's rhetorical question, what else can he do for you? Well, he got us home last night. There's no telling how long that game might have gone on. And Trey Turner's nothing short of remarkable right now in a lot of different areas.
Well, he's a 5-tool guy. The pregame show showed you that, but I think the 6-tool clutch showed up last night. And when you talk about Trey Turner and what he's done, we could go on and on about the numbers. You see him right there, but what he's brought to the table, the energy level, what he's done for this ball club. And I think when you start talking about his speed, third or fourth on what he's done since he's been called up, that makes it even that much more incredible. We thought he was just a speed guy, but the power, the average, the arm, the defense, and I think the speed can be pushed to the back of the end of his tools.
Yeah, when he learns his new position, he'll be okay out there too. So here's Max Scherzer. He has been unbelievable since June 1st. 11-3, the ERA not much over 2. The strikeouts, it's all piling up for Max as he's right in the middle of that Cy Young race as well.
Yeah, concentrate on the process tonight, not the award at the end of the season. I think Max Scherzer's the leader in the clubhouse when you talk about Cy Young.
Yeah, and the Phillies have seen enough of these two guys. Scherzer last 2 years, 8 starts, 6-0 against Philadelphia with a 198. And then there's Trey. This year now, 52 games total, 77 hits, 26 of them for extra bases. The guy in the mound and the guy leading off, they're going to team up again tonight. Can't wait to see what happens. Acid. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By Roy Rogers. Check out their lineup: roast beef, fried chicken, and burgers. Visit RoyRogersRestaurants.com. And by Night Point Systems. They offer the technology you need when you need it. Now there's the number.
Can't believe
he has 8 home runs, does number 7.
Can't believe there's one left.
Yeah. They probably sold a few since about 11 o'clock or so last night. So Turner will be leading off. It's a nice night here. It is hot, though. Sky's mostly clear. Heat index at 99. There is a breeze. It's blowing from the right corner over toward the left field side. Phillies are hitting only .213 against the National League East this year. Odubel Herrera, though, pretty good numbers against Max. 7 hits, an RBI, 5 walks. Cesar Hernandez also has 5 hits. So does Blanco. The little guys at the top of the lineup. Here's Max.
Well, earned his NL best 16th win last start on the 5th against the Braves. Just a couple of runs in 7 innings.
First pitch, 7:06, and Cesar Hernandez ripping.
So fastball, slider, cutter, curveball change. Fastball on the year is averaging 94 miles an hour.
Hernandez in the series, a base on balls. He's 1 for 8. And there it is, the off speed. That's the curveball below 80. No balls, 2 strikes.
Took a whole 2 pitchers for Jose Lobaton to steal a strike.
And then the challenge heater. He's late for it.
Your defense tonight: Jason Worth with the night off. The rest the same. Danny Espinoza, Rendon left side, Murphy Robinson right side, and Jose Lobaton giving Wilson Ramos the night off, who got banged all around last night.
And then a ball to left, hanging up, and Ben Revere out there in place of Jason Worth tonight. Managed to get a piece of it. That could have been dangerous. Ben did well to keep it in front, and Hernandez is aboard.
A little different when you're playing left field from center field on a low line drive straight at you. I think if Ben Revere trusted himself and kept coming right there, he might have had a chance to catch it. But he took one false step at the very beginning. But like you said, did a nice job of keeping that in front of him.
So here's Herrera. Odubel in the series. 1 for 5. Left last night's game after being hit by a pitch on the leg, and he's right back in there the next night. Squared around for just a moment. Ball 1. All the National League games tonight. Nothing happening at all. One on the count. Rendon even with a bag at third. Dave Rackley, 7-year veteran, has the plate tonight. Chris Siegel at first, replacing Chris Guccione, who worked the first 2 games of the series. Paul Emmel, second base, and there's Larry Vanover, the crew chief, at third. So Max is 16-7, 30th start. League only hitting 190 against him. That's the second lowest opponent's batting average to the 184 of Jake Arrieta. Overall ERA of 2.88 is 7th. And a 2-0 pitch. Busted bat. Anthony Rendon just waiting for that one.
He could have dropped that in turn 2. Odubel Herrera didn't even leave the batter's box. If he lets that bounce and throws it to second, that's a double play. I don't think he had time enough because the ball was so low to even peek at Herrera, but
next up, Blanco. Andres Blanco 1 for 5 in the series. Been on base 3 times, couple of walks. Also hit by a pitch. And he's 5 for 10 against Max. And a strike call. Long hold, swing and a miss on the 94, and the count's 0-2.
Yeah, fastball jumping early. I always think in a Max Scherzer start, he lets you know early in the game if it's going to be one where he has to fight or one where he's cruising. Too early to tell, obviously, yet, but the fastball looks sharp.
Long hold, time given. Hernandez over at first base, 16 steals, but as we've noted in the series' first 2 games, he's been caught 10 times. He didn't come close to leaving the bag in the 9th inning last night after drawing a 2-out walk.
Seattle 14, Oakland 3. Is that the Seahawks and Raiders?
No, that's a baseball score out in Oakland. Wow, crazy doings in the East. Toronto beat the Red Sox. Yankees won again. The New York Yankees are 3 games out of first place. It is nuts in the AL East.
Baby Bombers.
Orioles just underway at Detroit. 1-2 pitch with 1 out. And a couple of sounds as that ball skipped in the dirt, and Jose Lobaton blocked it. And then the wild card race, because of all that madness in the East, kind of crazy. So look at the Yankees, a half game out of the wild card. Houston beating the White Sox today. And then Seattle and Kansas City on the fringe. Just didn't have enough room for all those teams. In our pop-up stat box there. Long way to go. 3 weeks. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on the move and a foul out of play.
I hear a lot of people saying that. Long way to go. 3 weeks is not a long way to go. You say long way to go in April and May. But when you got 3 weeks left in the season, I know what people are thinking when they say that, meaning there's a lot left to be decided. But there is not a long way to go. This is the stretch run. This is, you're coming around the quarter pole, and you better be in a sprint.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Scherzer goes full. Tommy Joseph in the lineup for the first time in this series. Ryan Howard's been doing some damage, so against right-handed pitching he's been in there, but Joseph gets it tonight. Runner on the move, another foul.
Thought it was really cool what Max told Mass and Dan on the pregame show today about the feel for his changeup between his pinky and his thumb. When he can feel the baseball in those 2 fingers, and he's got that really good touch on it that he can throw it for a strike whenever he wants, and he can throw it for a ball whenever he wants. But that's a game-by-game thing. But I thought Dan did a real good job on the pregame show, showing all of Max's pitches, how he grips them, how he throws them. It was real good stuff.
Runner on the move and a walk. So Max really slowing down the pace with Hernandez at first, and now he walks Blanco with 1 out.
Well, watching Max for a couple of years now, I feel like he likes to get into his rhythm in the windup, and it usually takes a minute to get to the stretch. because he's hard to get on base. But tonight didn't have that opportunity to get into the rhythm in his windup with a leadoff single. Now he's right in the stretch working on those mechanics early.
So the front door slider in there. So 15 earned runs in the first inning this year. Max has given up a total of 63 the entire season. So a couple of nice sliders. Tommy Joseph 0 for 5 career against Max.
This one acts more like a changeup for Max. A little bit of break late. You see him really following through, staying through that pitch.
And a pop-up to the right side. Infield fly rule in effect. Clint Robinson has it for the second out. And now it'll be the power of Scherzer and the power of Cameron Rupp matching up.
Yeah, Cameron Rupp hit that ball a mile last night off of Coda Glover. 3-run homer. Got into a 2-0 count, looked fastball and clicked it.
Scherzer ahead with the fastball. Cameron Rupp, 15 home runs on the year, 48 batted in. One career blast against Max, 4 for 17 overall. Pitch count to 21 here in the first. And just a little bit low.
Trying to get him to bite on the slider, but he's seeing it out of his hand early. You know, he's thinking about how far he hit that fastball last night, but that's last night. He just blew that 95 by him. Let's see if he goes to the heater again here in 2-2 count.
And another ball popped up. Right side, Daniel Murphy this time. A long way to get that 0 for Max Scherzer. Strands a couple of runners. Now the Nats face Jared Eichhoff.
Bottom of the ninth, a 9-pitch gem that sent everybody home. So first pitch slider down, fastball up for strike one, 1-1 count. Then it's 1-2, and now the fight begins. He starts fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch. And on the 9th pitch after this one, sends everybody home happy. So we talked about the 5 tools: speed, hit for average, hit for power, throw, defense. The 6-tool clutch, and Trey Turner was all of that last night and more.
Frank Herman can smile today.
He looks real shook up about it.
Relievers have to have a short memory. Trey Turner in this series 3 for 9, a homer, 3 RBIs. And here is Jared Eichhoff, the 26-year-old, who's 10-13.
All right, last start in the 5th against Miami, 6-2 winner. Just gave up a couple of runs in 6 innings. Struck out 4, walked nobody. So fastball, slider, curveball change. Fastball 91. Curveball, a real good one, his best secondary pitch.
1-1 to Turner, and it's outside. So Trey, a 6-game hitting streak, 11 for 28. 3 homers, 8 batted in. Batting average sitting at .345, and the on-base percentage 20 points higher. Up in the zone, Dave Rackley calls a strike, and it's 2-2.
With a lot of leadoff guys, especially with the speed of Trey Turner, as a pitcher, you're saying, I just got to make him put the ball in play. I got to throw a strike because I can't walk him. I can't let him get on first. With Trey Turner, that doesn't apply right now. You have to throw quality strikes to him, because if you just lay it in there, he can shoot you out of the yard, and it's 1-0 in a hurry. So it's a whole different thing that I don't think I've ever seen before.
Swing and a miss on a big hook. Ends up outside. Turner down. Revere and Murphy, lefties the next 2.
You know, maybe with a Ricky Henderson, that's the only one I can think of.
So Murphy, after Revere, in his last 4 games, he's collected 8 hits right now. 4-point lead over DJ LeMahieu in the batting race. It's a 2-horse race. Nobody else above 318. So Clint Robinson in there tonight for Ryan Zimmerman. Jason Worth has the night off, and here's Ben Revere in his place in left field and batting second. Oh for 1 in the series so far. And he hits one pretty well out to left center. Playing so shallow, the left fielder Altair, no chance. And Ben Revere hit that ball about 370 before it bounced into the bullpen. So he's in scoring position, and for Revere, 9th double of the year.
Well,
number 75 career.
Ben Revere's batting practice the last couple of days has been amazing. He's been hitting line drive, line to line. Dusty Baker's hoping that his bat comes alive just at the right time, and that's a bad break for the Nats. If that stayed in, it might have been a triple, and there goes a no-hitter.
Yeah, Ben Revere very close to his 8th triple of the year. That hot shot by Murphy, knocked down by Joseph. 2 down.
Phillies defense tonight: Altair, Herrera, Borges the outfield, Galvis, Blanco left side, Hernandez, Joseph right side, Cameron Rupp catching.
Bryce Harper 1 for 8 with an RBI against the Phils in this series. Big RBI last night, 3rd time up. Got the Nats on top, 2-1, 6th inning at that point.
Opposing hitters are hitting 144 in 219 plate appearances that end with a curveball from Jared Eichhoff. That's in 36 career starts. So you saw the strikeout to Trey Turner and a couple beauties here to Bryce Harper. Here comes another one.
And Bryce down on 3 off-speed pitches. So 2 Ks in the first for Eichhoff. Rivera double, stranded. No score early in this one.
Nationals Ball Club today. Joe Ross took to the main mound here at Nationals Park before everything got going here this afternoon to throw a simulated game around 60-65 pitches from the right-hander today. Came out of it, he said, feeling very good. The thing that was kind of lacking when he shut down his rehab a handful of weeks ago, Joe said, was the confidence that he was really healthy and strong, and he says that he has that now. Through all of his pitches today, came out of it feeling good. Hopes that his next time pitching in a game-type situation is in the Nationals rotation, but we'll have to wait and see how the Nats want to play it.
Thank you, Dan, with our Coons.com sideline report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
Well, Nats need Joe Ross in a big way, and that might be the best news in the world that he came out of that okay today. And for those of you who don't know, a simulated game is you just have some of the extra players come out and you simulate a game, meaning you get 3 outs. The coaches judge whether it's a hit or not. You go sit on the bench. You pretend the other team hits. Then you go back out to the mound for another inning. And there's always arguments about that's an out, that's a hit, because you don't have any defenders out there. It's just pitcher, catcher, and hitter.
That ball's well hit. Off the bat of Freddie Galvis and Revere to the track. You think it's carrying to left field tonight? All right, Dan, one more note on the simulated game.
Yeah, funny note, Bob. One of the down notes from Joe from that simulated game was that his roommate Michael A. Taylor went yard off of him. He took a changeup out to left field, and Joe was laughing about it, saying, I know I'm going to be hearing about that one when we get back to the apartment later. I talked to Michael. He said, no, I don't need to say a word. He knows that I homered off of him. So a little bit of joking there between the roommates.
And then he drilled him next time up, right in the neck.
Peter Borges. Well, we know how far they can go when that young man hits one. Borges in the series, 2 for 8 with a home run.
Oh, that's a good pitch.
I think your point in the first inning about Max's pace when he's off the full windup, we're seeing it here.
Yeah, getting in the rhythm out of the windup. That's the good slider, the one that's tough to pick up. It looks like a fastball, and it's so late and quick, almost cutterish, if you will.
Straight down it goes. 87 on the change. First strikeout tonight, 2 down.
Well, that was a filthy change. And just the follow through, the extension, the grip that Dan showed you in the pregame show, and look at the late movement. That's a beauty.
Number 8 hitter, Aaron Altair, the left fielder. And by the way, Borges now 0 for 8 career against Scherzer, 6 strikeouts. Altair in the series 0 for 5. Walk, hit by a pitch. 4th career at bat against Scherzer, still looking for his first base hit.
What weapon do you want to use? 97, a slider, or a drop dead changeup? I mean, whatever he wants. There's 96. It's an extra fastball. Just got a piece. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a slider off of this one. He's going to gear up to try to get to that fastball, and the slider way works. He shook to something.
That ball just screaming over there by the end of the dugout. And the count's 1-2 here in the second inning. Buzzes him with another heater. This one right on the inside edge of the plate. So Max a couple of strikeouts. He's retired 5 in a row, and he's finding his rhythm, isn't he? A Cesar Hernandez single. A Ben Revere double. Rendon, Robinson, Espinoza here. And coming up on Tuesday, you Terps and Hoyas come on down to the ballpark. College Rivalry Day. With the purchase of a special ticket, enjoy pregame activities, get a reusable Nationals acrylic cup in Maryland or Georgetown colors before the Nats and the Mets at 7:05. Visit nationals.com/college rivalry day for tickets. Getting to twilight time here early at 7:36.
Did you see all the food they brought us?
We have a whole German buffet up here for Oktoberfest tonight.
We have a sauerbraten sandwich, currywurst.
Those were some impressive mugs they gave out tonight.
Pretzel bites.
And I heard something about sauerkraut balls.
We have sauerkraut balls. And we're way up here. I could do some damage if I start letting loose with them. I think I could reach Anthony Rendon right now if I tried. Got a good little weight to him. See, that's what baseball players do. We think everything, throw it. Just grab it and throw it.
Rendon. And that's out to Odubel Herrera. Clint Robinson is next. Getting a start tonight. Ryan Zimmerman the 9 off. Ryan's 1 for 8 in the series. Jason Worth in the series 0 for 6. So a couple of veterans getting a night off. It's supposed to be a little cooler here tomorrow. Mid-80s. The forecast highs for the day game tomorrow. So here's Clint 0 for 2 in the series and hitting .271 the last 23 times Dusty has put him in the starting lineup.
These sauerkraut balls are ridiculous. Seriously, you have to try one. They are. I know you don't eat during your broadcast, but you got to break that rule.
All right, we'll see.
These are money. Don't throw them, eat them.
2-0. Robinson 0 for 3 career against Eichhoff. Big crowd tonight. We had just under 29,000 here last night. Way beyond that this evening. I'm thinking, wow, 35, 36, we'll see.
Thought Clint was going to send us home last night with that high fly he hit to left center. He just got under it a hair.
On the 2-2, he takes the off speed. Here's the entire at bat from Nissan. And he'll take the 1-out walk.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in the game. That's brought to you by Miller Lite. Boy, that would go real good with what I got it going on right here. Just wash down this sauerbraten sandwich, which I've never had before.
Sauerbraten?
Sauerbraten sandwich. It's okay. Fantastic. Side of Lederhosen, dipping it in some dirndl.
Yeah, Tanner Roark and Blake China were heartbroken today when I told them it's a tough night for Masson, no longer running their promo for Oktoberfest. And Tanner said, that's okay. They showed it in the pitchers meeting. I've seen enough.
Oh, yeah, you do something like that. Just say no next time, Blake. Just say no. Too nice. He's too nice.
He is.
He's the best. You want him to dress up in German stuff and dance around? He'll say yes every time.
He's still keeping time.
Look at him. It's like I'm on TV. They're showing me. They're probably talking about that Oktoberfest stuff.
That pitch a little bit outside. 1-1 to Danny.
Why do they keep showing me?
Danny in the series 2 for 7. Couple of at bats against Eichhoff, a base hit and a base on balls. Trying to get something going here as we move toward the bottom of the order. Nothing happening yet in the Miami game, but the Mets have a couple of runs leading 2-1 at Atlanta. It's another screamer into the seats. Bartolo Colon and John Gant pitching for the Mets and the Braves respectively. That ball drilled to center. On his way back, Herrera, right in front of the track. So Danny hits it 390 or so. 2 down.
Starting to heat up a little bit. Couple hits last night. He's had some good at-bats. Like I said yesterday, his batting practice has been exactly what he wants it to be. And he just misses, got underneath it. And it gives you an idea how high and how hard he hit this ball. I didn't think it was going to go all the way to the track, but he just missed his 22nd home run of the year. Just missed.
So here's Jose Lobaton getting a little more playing time this week as Wilson Ramos has needed some time off, and Wilson just battered during that game last night. Hope he's feeling a whole lot better today, because that was a rough 3.5-hour ball game last evening.
But he took one in all different parts of his body last night. He deserved a day off today.
And to the left side, not able to get it, Freddie Galvis. So Jose Lobaton, who usually gets at least a hit when he starts, is off to a good start. That'll get Scherzer to the plate here in the second inning, and Max has been swinging it.
Well, Max likes to hit in these situations. 2 outs, runner in scoring position. This is usually when he bears down and makes something happen. Jose Lobaton checking in with a knock. Freddie Galvis trying to steal it. Just out of Freddie's reach. Nicely done.
Lobaton came in hitting 200. 18th hit of the year and 86 at bats, playing in his 33rd game. Max is 10 for 61 with 8 batted in.
Can be hard to score Clint Robinson from second. Everybody cheating in for the Phils because the pitcher's hitting. But you never know. There's ways.
And Scherzer high in the air to left. Altair going back some more, and kind of a one-handed basket catch 375 feet away.
How about that?
Matt Scherzer's never hit a big league homer, but he will.
It's a mid-range jump shot.
Okay.
You know, you gotta have a little touch, you gotta have a little feel, you gotta know where you are, and you gotta be able to just have it. It's all on your wrist. And you gotta be able to flick it. Really feeling that nice cock kind of grip, and at release point, I really could feel the thumb and pinky working, and so I had that feel for a strike and a strikeout.
I had a feel for a strike and a strikeout. Really, really good stuff right there. But there, he's thrown a couple of good ones already in this ball game. And here's an example. You see the thumb, the pinky, and the three fingers kind of decelerating the baseball, but the arm speed the exact same as his fastball in the late movement. That one was for the strikeout, not a strike. Really, really good stuff, Mass and Dan. Way to go.
Yeah, I love the analogy between the off-speed pitch and the mid-range jumper.
Yeah, you gotta
know where you are, and it's all kind of a feel thing. Very good.
Now back to my currywurst and my sauerbraten.
Top of the third, Eichhoff, Hernandez, and Herrera. By the way, that tells me that Max knows a little bit about hoops too, because the mid-range game is the lost art of basketball. Everything's either a three or a slam dunk now. There's not a whole lot in between.
It's his favorite sport. It really is.
He delivers to his opposing pitcher, who's 0 for 1 against him. Fastball inside.
And he knows what's up because he's a Warriors fan.
Eichhoff on the year, 8 for 50. So inside the numbers, here are the ranks. Strikeouts, wins at the top of the table. Opponent's batting average, as we mentioned, only Arrieta better. The ERA and the winning percentage. A foul tip. And it's 2-2. That is right in there. 3 consecutive strikeouts. First time around the order. The Phillies go 1 for 8 with a walk. This Sunday, it is September 11th, and SAIC presents Heroes Day when the Nats take on the Phils. Arrive early for a pregame march on by the U.S. Naval Academy Brigade of Midshipmen. Special 9/11 remembrance and a flyover by U.S. Navy jets. Come and join us for a very special day at the ballpark tomorrow.
It's a big deal to have a flyover here in the district. There's all kinds of clearance that you need to get. That's why the Nats don't always have them. So when they do have them, enjoy them.
Nothing more impressive.
And my buddies in the Air Force that have done them before hate doing them here because everybody who is anybody, or anybody who is anybody's watching. All the bigwigs, all the generals, all the heads of the military. So if they mess them up, they hear about it. I mean, you could do one for the Rockies game, say, and get away with maybe going a little too low or a little too fast. But when you do it here, all the big boys are watching, so they get nervous. I used to tell them, don't mess it up.
And I thought they had nerves of steel.
They do if it's a military situation, but when it's a flyover, they get nervous.
2-2 with 1 out. Hernandez has the only hit for the Phillies. Line drive to left. Clean single that dropped in front of Ben Revere.
Seen a lot of 96s and 97s early for Max.
That ball drilled to right. So Hernandez hits number 6 and 7 career against Max. One the other way. This one pulled with authority.
Text Masson's word of the day fresh to 29292 for your chance to win a signed Max Scherzer jersey and Roy Rogers Cowboy Cash from Masson. Brought to you by Roy Rogers. Check out their lineup. Leading off, roast beef, batting second, fried chicken, and hitting third, burgers. Visit royrogers.com.
Here's Odubel Herrera. Max really got in on his hands first time, and he popped up weakly to Anthony Rendon. Ball in the air for just a couple of seconds. Hard ball on that one. Strike one. Chris Eagle confirming for Hernandez that he was safe on that toss.
I think they should challenge it.
On the move is the runner, swing and a miss. Lobaton on target, but it's skipped. And it was a tough play for Danny Espinosa. It's number 17 for Hernandez.
They had a chance because of the Scherzer hold. He disrupted Hernandez's timing. He didn't get the greatest jump in the world. Watch. Kind of a delayed jump, but then his speed makes up for it. And I think a good throw has him, but Jose Lobaton just rushed it enough to bounce it. He got a good pitch to throw on, too. He just got on top too much. Did you see him straight over the top, spike it into the ground? Good throw gets him, and he knows it.
So on the swing and miss, it's 0-2. Danny behind Hernandez, scampering back to the bang.
See, that's when you think you're diving back in there and you're trying to be safe, and you look and there's no fielder there, and you try to change your idea of sliding too late. Boy, that's a good shot of Danny Espinosa working hard back there. As a middle infielder, it's always so hard when you have a plus base stealer on second base to keep him close, because you have to make him feel you. Even just talking to him makes him feel you. And what you'll do is you'll make noises behind him like back, back, and you'll tell him to try to keep him close. And then you have to get back to your position before the pitch crosses the plate to get your range, all before the pitch. Pounding the glove, see him pounding his leg. You just make him feel. You see him going. That's what he's doing behind him right there. And then now Max with the inside move. The game within the game. Holding a plus base stealer at second for a middle infielder is a difficult thing to do. See, slapping his leg. Back.
Off speed, blocked by Lobaton.
Can you tell I kind of missed doing that?
A little bit.
And the reason you're going back is you want him to know, I'm right behind you, dude. I'm right behind you. You can't get off anymore, because if you do, I'm going to pick you off. The art of holding a runner by a middle infielder, you're seeing it. And you're seeing a good job by Danny Espinosa. Thinking about a pick. And a nice block by Jose Lobaton on a spiked curveball, it looks like, to keep Hernandez at second. think we showed early in the year Joe Ross holding D. Gordon on at first. It was one of my favorite moments of the season. This is right up there. I mean, what's going on here for anybody that's a baseball geek, this is really good stuff.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Dave Reckley let everybody know pretty late.
Danny thinking about a pickoff. Max Holden, and that's a late timeout. Real late.
And this ball out of play.
And the goal, in case you're wondering, is just to make him stop so that he doesn't get that momentum we've showed you with Trey Turner when he gets that little hop into the steal. So Danny's job, and you'll hear the bench say, hey, make him stop out there. You're just trying to break up Hernandez's rhythm so that he can't get a rolling start into stealing third. It's not to pick him off. It's not to get an out at second. If you do that, it's a bonus. It's just to break up his rhythm and his timing. That's what all this stuff is. And if you ever go to a game, you're probably not watching this.
2-2 with 1 out.
See,
ball foul, fortunately.
Did you see him go in? He wanted the pick. He went daylight right there. And as he went to the bag, Max went to home. Eye contact is key with the pitcher when you're going daylight. Watch Danny. He's got him. He's got daylight between he and the runner. And Max just turns his head when Danny goes in for the pick. And now he's naked at second base, basically, because if Herrera hits it to short, it's a base hit.
To the count. That's a busted bat. Scherzer to the bag. Led perfectly by Clinton Robinson. 2 down. Hernandez to third. When you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. So the Potomac Nationals just eliminated from the playoffs. Some pretty good batting averages right at the top there. Andrew Stevenson, the outfielder. Jose Marmolejos, just under 290. Alec Keller right there. We wish all of those young men well, and you have to have 200 ABs to get on that list. Hopefully Harrisburg next for some of them. There's Andres Blanco. He drew a 1-out walk in the first with Hernandez on first base. Lobaton had to reach back to get it. Ball 1.
And just tying a bow on that, Carp. If Danny doesn't keep Hernandez close at second, he steals third. That ground ball to first is a run. It's 1-0 Phillies.
Yeah.
So all that work he just did is to keep it 0-0.
That's in there. High 70s on the curveball. Mercedes-Benz will check it. And you could hear this version of Daniel Murphy, Andres Blanco, reacting to a pitch well off the plate. So Max nearing 60 here in the third inning. 23 first inning, just 13 in a 1-2-3 second.
That hit him.
And that hit something. Deflecting off of Blanco, and he's going to first base. On for the second time. In this series, he's walked 3 times and now been hit twice.
Your little cutter just got his jersey barely. But you heard two sounds and you knew it hit him. I think that's the worst thing in the world. You get it right on right matchup right here.
Yeah, Tommy Joseph, the hitter. Max popped him up to Clint Robinson, first time up.
A little cut to his fastball tonight that you don't normally see. Some natural cut. I don't think he's trying to do that.
Now it's 0-2. Delayed run to second base by Blanco. So Andres Blanco will get his second steal of the year on the delayed effort.
Caught the middle infielders, not Jose Lobaton. He was ready-ish. But nobody covering, nobody there to cover the delay steal.
Joseph, who's hit 17 homers, a good rip right there. 2-2 count. We're into the 8 o'clock hour. Ball game underway at 7:06. Scherzer and Jared Eichhoff of the Phillies. No score so far. Nats have 2 hits, a Revere double, a Lobaton single, both going the other way, and a walk by Clint Robinson. Phillies here trying to score. 2 on, 2 out.
Phillies are fighting, Max.
Yeah, they've been grinding out some ABs early in this one. It's all from the first 3 hitters. On base 4 times. Way inside. That almost got Joseph. 3-2.
Got a base open, you're a strike thrower. You don't have to give in here and lay a fastball down the middle, although you can if you want, because you throw 97. But make your pitch, make him hit your pitch. Doesn't have to be a strike. You can always reset with the bases loaded.
No score, top of the 3rd. Crowd trying to urge Max into the bottom of the third. Swing and a miss. They urged him well. Strikeout number 4, 2 in the inning. So the top of the order for the Nats. Bottom of the third, Trey Turner pulled one right down the line last night and then went straight away center. His second AB tonight. Straight ahead, no score against the Phillies.
Two homers for Trey Turner last night gives him 8 on the season. He was asked after the game about that power display from a guy his size. He pointed to a handful of factors I hadn't really considered before. He said that in the minor leagues, the quality of the balls isn't really as good, and the bats up here are made with better wood as well. Also, the third deck on big league stadiums up here limits the amount of wind. He also said some minor league parks are hard to hit in, and some cities as well, as he grounds this one to third. Tough to hit in Syracuse, of course, and he also noted, guys, that he's gotten to know his swing really well. He's learned how to control certain things, how to make adjustments a lot quicker, and one thing that's clear for me, talking to Trey about baseball, is how high his baseball IQ is at just 23 years of age.
Yeah, it's a lot more conducive to offense at this level because you see the ball better, too. The lighting's better, the backdrops are better. The pitching's better too, but I always thought it was easier to hit in the big leagues than the minor leagues. They're around the plate. You can see the ball, the bats are better, the balls are brighter, all that stuff. That's good stuff.
Here's Ben Revere. Plugged the gap in left center first time. Phillies got a break when the ball went over the wall rather than staying in play. 2-1.
I mean, and just imagine this stadium in those windy days in Vieira. This backside of the stadium be blocking all that wind, and it wouldn't affect the ball like it does in Vieira, which is an A-ball stadium.
First 2 innings for Jared Eichhoff. 27 pitches, 17 strikes. 3-1 after getting Turner quickly, and Revere to the left side. Blanco had to give a little with that one. 2 down.
DC Lexus dealers are donating $250 to the Children's National Health System for every home run an Nats player hits this season. So, Murph, keep them coming. It's for a wonderful cause. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
He was on the attack early. First at bat, hit a ground ball sharply over to Tommy Joseph, who knocked it down. And that's way in there. 1-1. So the Rockies are at San Diego tonight. And DJ LeMahieu, we're keeping an eye on him. Be facing Christian Friedrich in that game. That's upstairs, 2-1.
But Phillies totally flipping their game plan on Daniel Murphy. You know, we saw in Philadelphia everything away, away, away. And they're pounding him in. They hit him twice last night.
Pete Buchanan, Larry Boa. Phillies came into this series to 6 games under 500 on the road. A lot of good ball clubs have that problem. They haven't been able to win at home, or they'd be a whole lot better. So Murphy hit number 174, and he's aboard with 2 outs, and that gets Bryce Harper to the plate.
Daniel hits Murphy. But we only get to say it for a couple more games, so let's wear it out. 174. The quest for 200 continues.
With off-speed stuff, Eichhoff struck out Bryce first time up.
All curveballs.
He'll show him a heater on the first one.
That's just to get back to the curveball. If it ain't broke, he ain't fixing it.
So after the slider, that one mid-70s. Nissan will track it.
Where's the curveball? He's, I think, 3 swinging strikes so far have been via the curveball and 1 via the slider. Probably throw this one a little shorter, maybe even in the dirt.
That's what he did. So Bryce down on strikes twice. Eichhoff's only, well, 2 of his 3 Ks of the night, and we're scoreless through 3. As usual, here at the ballpark, it's our troop recognition, and it's brought to you by DynCorp International, proudly serving our nation for 70 years. Waving those caps and getting applause from the players as well. Two hits for the Phils. They've had a couple of other base runners, Blanco twice and a walk and a hit by pitch. The Nats have 3 hits, 1 in each inning. Scherzer back to work against Cameron Rupp. For the Phillies, 5, 6, and 7 here in the 4th. On a 1-2, he blows it by him. Max Scherzer. Strikeouts coming in bunches, 3 in a row. Second into the 3rd, and now 2 straight.
He's starting to get into a serious rhythm and command with his pitches. All of them on point. Missed his spot a little bit here, but you get away with that when you throw 96, 97. Oh. Don't look at the skin on his arm when we show you the Exmo ever.
Freddie Galvis, fly ball to left first time. Would have been good to have leather for that one.
Bring your glove, you catch that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
1 ball, 1 strike. Galvis against Max, career 4 for 23. In the series, he's 2 for 8. Gonna slap one right up the middle. Philadelphia's 3rd base hit.
Big series coming, folks. 12th through the 14th. Mets in town. Could decide the NL East. Might decide the NL East. Don't miss your chance to come out to Nats Park. Get loud and help the Nats work to clinch a postseason spot. Visit nationals.com/tickets. So just come out and get loud. Good crowd.
Still 2-1, New York at Atlanta.
Good crowd tonight.
Yeah, lively 90 at the yard right now. Peter Borges struck out swinging first time. This a bouncer. Espinosa, Murphy, and the Nats will save Max Scherzer. And of course, he had a lot to do with it. A whole bunch of pitches on that 6-4-3. Baseball is brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid all-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com this weekend. Number 31 just got an 8-pitch inning. to get 3 outs in the 4th, so that's really good for Max. So we look ahead to the rest of the night. And then there's Geico, the President's Race. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. William Howard Taft to the tape, chased by the lady with the Happy Oktoberfest sign.
Well, I think we should get one of those costumes and wear them on the air. I'll be a beer. I basically am anyways.
Anthony Rendon, bottom of the 4th, ball 1. He was first pitch swinging, leading off the 2nd, hit a fly ball to center.
Pitchers duel here at Nats Park.
Yeah, the Phillies have a bunch of starters in their early to mid-20s, getting lots of experience at the big league level. This is start number 29 for Eichhoff. He'll be well up over 170 innings by the time his night is done. And he's a 10-game winner, 13 losses. Anthony Rendon, a pop-up. It's going to be over in foul ground. Freddie Galvis. They both acted like they were going to catch it. 1 out.
I don't know if you remember Al Leiter's brother, Mark Leiter. Played with him in San Francisco. Jared Eichhoff is reminding me a lot of Mark Leiter. Even the way he looks, his body type, the stuff. It's like his clone.
Clint Robinson, a base on balls, first time up. Man, things are evened up, 1-1. Robinson, right center. 1 hop to Borges. And Clint Robinson just keeps on doing it every time Dusty writes his name in that lineup. On base twice tonight.
Stay on the curveball, nice. This is not an easy curveball to hit. Up, down. That one stayed up a little bit, and Clint Robinson all over it. So nice swing by Clint. On base for the 2nd time.
Yeah, 84 hits last year. He's at 40 this year. Hasn't gotten as much playing time as he did as a 30-year-old rookie. Last year, 126 games. 309 at bats. So Clint right now officially at 173 ABs, but still doing the same kind of job he did for our club last year. Ryan Zimmerman getting the night off. Danny Espinosa 0 for 1. Guy's a pro, man. Took him a long time to get to the big leagues, and he has done quite well in 2 years.
Dangerous count to a dangerous hitter.
Outfield around to the right. 2-0, and he was hacking the ball way up in the air. Where's it going to come down?
In the Anacostia?
Right in that little cutout that separates the upper grandstand over there.
I've never seen anybody do that more than Danny. Remember the one at Citizens Bank? He hit out of the stadium like that. Right over his right shoulder, over the first base dugout, and onto the stadium. And no more fastball after that. They're going changeup.
And missing by a wide margin, 3-1. First 5 batters in the Nats lineup tonight on base twice. And then 6, 7, and 8 already on 3 times. Robinson twice, Lobaton, and Danny trying to get right with him. So there he is on 2 on, 1 out. Lobaton next.
Line moving? Question mark. Let's see.
Trying to break through here in the bottom of the 4th.
Eichhoff might be trying to get a little tricky right now, losing his aggressiveness that you've seen the whole game. Lots of changeups and curveballs early in the count. All of a sudden, there's a fastball, but when he's right and he's good, he's attacking the strike zone with all of his pitches, but mostly, you know, fastball early, get me over curveball early, and then gets tricky late. He's tried to get tricky in hitting counts, and it's cost him in this inning so far. Not a run, but a couple of base runners.
Lobaton has driven in 6 runs this year. There's the off speed, up and away. Counts 1-2 now on the foul tip. Max Scherzer, who almost hit one out of here first time, is on deck.
I'm telling you, he lives for those RBI situations. Lives for them.
Lobaton up the middle, scooting on the ground. It's through. Here comes Robinson. Herrera's throw is in time. Clint Robinson thinks he was safe, and he points to the dugout. Called out by Dave Rackley. Will have several looks, I'm sure.
Safe. At least from up here, he looks safe. I thought his hand got in there. The whole dugout just went nuts. Good throw by Odubel Herrera. A good send by Bob Henley. You have to right now. Hits are few and far between, and so are base runners. Watch the throw by Herrera. And I thought he slaps his hand on the plate before the tag. Give me a good look at it right here. If he got the plate, he's safe. What do you got? Look at the slide. Oh, did he tag him? You got to check that, don't you?
Yeah, you know they're taking a long, long look.
Headphones.
Here comes the challenge.
Is that enough to overturn it? That last Exmo is a definitive look. That's what New York's looking at. They're probably looking at it before we started looking at it. And they have a device, if you don't know. It's called a cube. They can make that 15 times bigger, this tag. So they're zooming in as we speak. Watch the hand. See, I don't know if you can tell if the tag got him or not. Maybe this one helps the cause. I think he missed him, but I don't know if there's enough to overturn it. That looks safe.
Crowd thinks he's safe after seeing several angles. This one's not going to take very long, it appears. He's out. 8-2 Herrera, who has 11 assists now, to Cameron Rupp, 2 outs.
See, Clint Robinson can't believe it because he didn't feel the tag. He knows he hit the plate. So if you're a runner and you don't feel the tag, you think you're safe. And I don't think there was anything to show the umpires in New York that the tag either hit him or didn't hit him, and that's why they didn't overturn it. And we're feeling your pain, Dusty. He looks safe up here.
Here's Scherzer now trying to get the Nats on the board with 2 outs.
But to overturn that call, they had to be able to tell if that tag hit him or not. And we showed it a number of times. And if you're thinking one way, you're going to see it one way.
To short, Freddie Galvis. So the Nats, 2 hits and a walk in the inning, but a call at home keeps this game scoreless.
Let's look at it one more time. I mean, this is a close one. I want to say he's safe, but I can see what they're seeing in New York, if that makes any sense. So when his hand hits right there, he's on the plate. And is he tagging his sleeve or not is the question, with the back side of his catcher's glove. You can't tell, right? Definitively. I mean, if you're a Nats fan, you're saying, no, he missed him. And if you're a Phillies fan, you're saying, yeah, he got him on the sleeve. But watch this one. So hand right there on the plate. Roll it just a step farther. One more click. One more. He's not to the plate yet. There, he's on the plate. So is his glove touching his tricep area, sleeve area right there? I don't think it did, but there's nothing to show me clearly space between the glove and the sleeve so I can call him safe. There's no shot. Like if you had a blimp shot right over the top, that's about the only thing that you could tell where there's space between the glove and the sleeve. All these angles don't show it. So this, you can't overturn it. You can't. As much as you want it to be overturned, as much as you think he's safe, you can't tell definitively if this glove hits his sleeve. You can't.
Well, a true bang-bang play could have gone either way, and the key, as you say, the initial call. Bryce Harper back and to his right on the first pitch at the top of the 5th, and Aaron Altair has hit a fly ball to right.
And the reason it's so agonizing is because you're thinking one run wins this, the way Max is pitching.
Well, that was assist number 11 by Odubel Herrera. He's in the top 4 in the league in that department of outfield assists. And here's Eichhoff, followed by Hernandez, top of the 5th. That ball driven to right center, tailing back to Bryce. He'll get there. Great jump in the gap. 2 outs.
A nice play by Bryce. That ball kind of slicing back toward him. Got a good jump, was ready for it. Nicely done. After viewing all the relevant angles, the replay official definitively determined that the fielder tagged the runner prior to the runner's hand contacting home. The call is confirmed. The runner is out. Well, I will just say I did not see it that way. I thought it would be one of those emails that says there wasn't enough evidence to overturn.
Hernandez 2 for 2 tonight. And a ground ball to the right side. So he single-handedly almost had Max with a couple of long innings, but Scherzer goes very quick in the 4th and now the 5th in a 0-0 game.
Home of the Smile Back Guarantee. No small print, just big smiles. Smile, it's Saturday and it's Septemberfest or whatever it is. But it seems like everybody's having a good time and the promotion went real well. Fans in the spirit here, if you know what I mean.
That they are. Top of the order again for the Nats in the 5th. Turner, Revere, Murphy. Watch the drive to the pennant with MLB.com. MLB.TV Premium, pardon me. Every out-of-market game live in HD on more than 400 supported devices. You also get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout, other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.TV. Keep track of Trey Turner if you can. Eichhoff has him 0 for 2 tonight. Revere 1 for 2 with an RBI double, and then Murphy 1 for 2. And we're not just talking rookies here on this Jeep feature. I mean, we're talking about everybody as far as at bats, hits, triples, steals, and extra base hits.
He gets on, they win. No pressure.
Even with the bag at third, Blanco. That one crossing right over the front corner of the plate. So Eichhoff has saved some of his best pitches of the night for Trey Turner.
The impressive thing, another impressive thing I should say, is he's been the focus of pre-series meetings. You know, we got to get this guy out. They've changed the game plan and he's adjusted to the league.
He's going to bunt. Not far enough up the line though, and Rupp able to pounce on it for the first out.
It was almost like he tried to pull it back and then it hit his bat anyways. It's a good idea, but I just didn't get it out there far enough. I mean, if that rolls another 2 feet, he's safe. Good idea.
Revere next, and then Murphy. Nick Markakis hit his 10th homer of the year to tie the Mets in the 4th. And then right after that, Cespedes just hit his 29th. 3-2 Mets at Atlanta. fifth inning. Strike to Ben.
Tim Tebow also homered in that game.
And then he throws the curve. And Revere's got a battle now. It's 0-2. And that one rolled over to Tommy Joseph. Murphy will bat with the bases empty.
Oh, bar of the week. All right, Nats fans, if you're unable to join us at the yard this week, be sure to catch all the action at Lou's City Bar, 1400 Irving Street, Washington, D.C., presented by Red's Apple Ale, crisp like an apple, brewed like a beer. Lou's City Bar. That sounds like just a hardcore joint. Locals only. Norm
yeah,
at the
there's
end of
no
the bar.
nonsense
Yeah.
when it's called Lou's, huh?
Yeah, they kick you out of there if you're not local, I think. They don't put up with much there.
3 straight ground ball outs by Eichhoff. And then Murphy in the air to left. So Scherzer, a 5-pitch top of the inning, and then Eichhoff comes right back. 1-2-3.
Time for some key in the driver's seat. Check out Max Scherzer getting out of some trouble. Couple guys on the first. Gets Cameron Rupp to pop up to Daniel Murphy. Nicely done. Couple guys on the third. He strikes out Tommy Joseph for the third out. And then in the fourth with the runner aboard. A little 6-4-3 action. Nicely done, Max. You are in the driver's seat for sure. You just need a run.
Top of the 6th inning. Max Scherzer has thrown 13 pitches to get the last 6 outs. '30th start of the year. Max trying to go at least 6 for the 27th time. And that's going to come around the back door and get a strike. Odubel Herrera 0 for 2, pop up to Rendon, and a ground ball to Clint Robinson. Umpire ends up with the bat. Phillies box hitting a walk in the first. Hernandez 2 for 3 with a steal. He's been most of their offense. Freddie Galvis a base hit. 4th inning, erased on a double play.
Best crowd in a long, long time tonight.
On the edge, 1-2.
Jose Lobaton framed the heck out of that one.
Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Lobaton keeps it close, throws out Herrera. Number 6 for Max Scherzer. Let's go inside the numbers, brought to you by PNC. So they matched up on August 30th at Philadelphia. The Nats able to win that game 3-2. And both had pretty solid evenings. Nats got some early offense, though. 2 runs in the first on a Harper double. A Ramos single drove in Murphy and Harper, and Max pretty much took care of business from there. They did not have a hit until the 6th inning when Freddie Galvis led off with a double. Blanco on the attack, strike 1.
They tried to ambush him.
And Lobaton back to have a look. It's over the screen. Next 5 for the Nationals tomorrow here at the ballpark. Gio Gonzalez and Adam Morgan, another lefty. Then the Mets are in for 4 o'clock game on Wednesday. And then after the off day, you're seeing the start of the last road trip, which will take us to Atlanta, Miami, and Pittsburgh. 0-2 pitch, 1 out. Umpire will appreciate that. Bounce way out in front, and Lobaton protected everybody.
I think it'd be a really good story if Gio just stepped up and said, "I got this."
Love to see that.
With Steven Strasburg's injury.
I'll be looking for number 11 again tomorrow. It'll be Gio's 29th start. He's 9-6 career against the Phillies. In the air to center, Trey Turner. Eight of 9 retired by Max now. He'll face Tommy Joseph. Phillies don't like him. He likes pitching against them. Under 2 the ERA, just over 180 the opponent's batting average. Overall in his career, 7-1 against the Phillies. He was 1-1 as a Tiger. And maybe one of those with Arizona.
I think Giancarlo Stanton's the only one that could hit a foul ball up to this booth. The only one.
I think you're right. And somebody like Max will have to be pitching.
Yeah, and the wind would have to be blowing straight in, so it got back to the booth.
Swing and a miss on 94. Just powdering the fastball. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
Some late life here. For strikeout number 7.
Last time out, Max struck out 5 Braves. He had gone 10 against the Orioles and 11 at Philadelphia. In terms of strikeouts, his 2 starts before that. And the off speed didn't do a whole lot. Curveball just kind of sat there and hit Tommy Joseph.
I mean, this had to be slippage. That's all that was. because you don't see Max Scherzer miss like this ever. Hot, humid night. That was a grip issue. See if we can see it. I mean, it wasn't like that pass we saw Tulsa make before the half against Ohio State today in a thunderstorm, but I think that slipped.
Yeah, that was a big ouch. Swing and a miss to Cameron Rupp, who has popped up and struck out swinging.
Crowd should get into it here. 2 strikes, 2 outs, tie game. Max Scherzer working hard for you on a warm night. This is where he could use a little help, and here it comes.
And a bouncer blocked by Lobaton. Took him a second to find it. It was at the feet of the umpire. 2-2.
You know, in a day when stimulants are outlawed in baseball, you get to this point of the season, your adrenaline is your home crowd. I mean, you're running on empty. Everything in your body hurts. It's late in the year. You get back into your ballpark on a full night like tonight, players live off of the adrenaline from the crowd. That's all they have nowadays with baseball.
Time given.
Their stimulants are the crowd late in the season. It's pretty simple. You feed off that. Whatever's hurting stops hurting. You live for that. And when you retire, you miss it.
Two, and he paints to the outside edge.
Briefcases. He's carrying the briefcases.
Max Scherzer is 7th K of the night. Hasn't given up a hit since the 4th. Now the Nats have Harper, Rendon, and Robinson. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Blue Jays had a players-only meeting before their game today. Then J.A. Happ went out, got his 18th win. J.A. or J, whichever you prefer. 3-2, they beat the first-place Red Sox. And then the Cubs, second straight 90-win season. They were beaten today in Interleague by Houston. And then the Yankees. There's the Yankees. A-Rod gone, Beltran, Chapman, Andrew Miller, Ivan Nova. And they are 10 games over 500, and they are 3 games behind the Boston Red Sox. Amazing.
But players-only meetings could go 2 ways. I've seen some get ugly. Like, let's go, guys. We need to pick it up. Offense, you got to do your job. Pitchers, you got to do your job. And you start going around the room, and guys start taking it personally, and they can end up really good or really bad. Was never a fan because they're awkward. It's like, okay, we're having a players-only meeting. Let's work this thing out. And sometimes you do. But I always thought they were just awkward is the best word.
2-1 to Harper. Wyckoff has handled him extremely well tonight. A couple of swinging strikeouts. 3 Ks total. Turner in the first, and then Harper in the first and the third. Counts full. Bryce has the same number, had the same number of walks as strikeouts coming into the game. 96 walks, 98 Ks now.
Got to go to the curveball. He struck Bryce out twice with it. Be shocked if he doesn't.
There it is, and that is some kind of hammer. That many pitchers can make the claim that Wyckoff has tonight.
Well, Bryce hasn't made contact off him, not even a foul ball, so he's not picking up Jared Wyckoff at all in this curveball. I think he's swung through about 5 curveballs and a couple of sliders, so not picking him up. Rough go.
There's Anthony Rendon, fly ball to center, foul out to Freddie Galvis down the left field line. In the zone up there, strike 1. And then he just flips that curveball in there, front door, 1-2.
But if Anthony Rendon swings at this, it's around his neck, so how's he supposed to hit it? It did come down at the end, but when it's in the hitting zone, it was right around his neck. You can't swing at that if you're a hitter.
Goes out to reach for that one, and a fly ball to right for Borges. 2 outs. 6th inning.
Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Big play in this ball game, and it would go to a replay challenge. Jose Lobaton, who just, by the way, is 2 for 2 tonight, having a real good night. Good throw by Herrera. Fantastic tag by Cameron Rupp, if it was a tag. And New York said it was definitive that he tagged him. Maybe they had an angle we didn't. I didn't think it was definitive, and neither did Dusty Baker.
And Nat's challenge did not get overturned. Robinson takes strike 1.
I mean, I would have bought there's not enough evidence to overturn it, but to say definitively that they saw the tag, I didn't see the jersey move, nor did I see glove on jersey in about 5 different angles.
Crew chief Larry Vanover, Dave Reckley, the home plate umpire. and Vanover went to the headsets. Herrera's 11th assist.
Used to be an infielder.
Clint Robinson, he's going to get punched out by Larry Vanover. And Clint can't believe the last 2 calls that have been made involving him tonight. We'll have to have a look at this.
I think we will right here. My goodness. Time for a Cox game summary brought to you by Cox's new Contour. Get right to the good stuff. No score, pitchers duel, soccer match, whatever you want to call it. Both pitchers have been outstanding here tonight, and that's really the only story. We just showed you the close call at the plate.
Pitch number 100 from Max Scherzer, a foul ball, 7th inning underway. 6, 7, 8 for the Phils. Galvis, Borges, and Altair. Max Scherzer, 65 strikes. Blake Treinen in the Nats bullpen.
Yeah, this is the empty the tank portion of the show. He's going to let it all hang out here. You're going to see stalking. You're going to see facial expressions. You're going to see briefcases, carrying the briefcases, everything. This is when it gets fun to Max Scherzer start. You know, Danny said it's carrying the briefcases. I still like smuggling sheep. One under each arm.
I'll go with whatever one is not a crime.
Well, that's what Robin Ventura said to me one day, because I used to do something similar. So he said, "You look like you're smuggling sheep."
Galvis, a base hit up the middle last time, 1 for 2 tonight. That was the last time the Phillies had a hit with 1 out, 4th inning. Max got a double play ball immediately on Borges. 1 base runner since. Tommy Joseph hit with a curveball with 2 outs last inning. So Max has retired 9 of the last 11 Phillies. And that ball hit pretty well. Going back, Turner to the edge of the track. Freddie Galvis hitting that ball about 380. Loud, long first out, 7th inning.
Nice play by Trey Turner. Clean routes. Watch top of your screen the jump. He's on it. He's tracking. Not a problem. He won't come out and say this publicly, but when you play shortstop your whole life and you go to center field, it's easy. It really is. And players will never say anything's easy in baseball because it's a jinx. And it's kind of fun too, because you just run around thinking about your hitting more. Maybe that's why his offense has just been outstanding lately, because you don't have to so many things going on defense. He's kind of chilling.
Yeah, he's showing us the arm out there too. 1-0 pitch. Scherzer evens things up to Peter Borges, who struck out in the second before that 4th inning double play ball. Max looking for number 17. As we mentioned, he'll have to win just about every time to get to 20. Start number 30 right here tonight. 2-1 pitch. Missing with the fastball.
Just when you start talking to yourself, I got this. Okay, deep breath. Legs are burning. I'm beat, but I'm going to give you everything I have right here on this pitch.
Hot shot up the middle. Peter Borges' first hit in 10 career at-bats against Max Scherzer. Number 8 hitter Aaron Altherr is next.
That's a big base hit for the Phillies. Borges can run. He only has 6 stolen bases on the year, but he can fly. And you're thinking Pete McCannon's going to give him the green light here if he gets a jump to go. And Mark Zepchinski, Blake Trinan, double barrels in the Nats bullpen. You know, I think because this is the bottom of the Phillies order that Dusty Baker's letting Max Scherzer go. Well, because of that, because he's Max Scherzer.
Phillies have another left-handed bat they did not have yesterday on deck. We'll set that in a moment.
Mike Maddox telling Jose Lobaton to go out there, and Jose's going nice and slow to give the bullpen a chance to get loose, and Max isn't dumb. He knows what's up. And this is a good breather for him right now. And then here comes Mike Maddox to go double stall. I don't think Max hates this. Or maybe he does. I thought he might use it as a breather right now because he's really huffing and puffing, understandably so. But I don't think he loved that trip, looking at it closely. I think he was like, I got this, let's go.
One on, one out. Altherr the hitter. Cody Ashe just added to the roster today. What a great slider.
Got 2 more of those. I mean, you might get the ground ball too if he really reaches out there and pulls it to short. Yeah, here comes another one. He shook the fastball off to get to another slider.
Good look at it by the hitter that time. Counts even 1-1. Top 7, 1 on, 1 out. 0-4-0 Phillies. 0-5-0 Nats. Philadelphia stranded 5. Washington 6 so far. Two and 1.
Well, you got a strike thrower. I don't think you have a contact guy at the plate, so hit and run probably not in play here. I know Pete Buchanan likes the play, and when you're playing for 1 run late, it fits, but it's a huge gamble based on the hitter, not so much the pitcher or the runner.
Yeah, Altair, 48 strikeouts, not that many at bats. That'll even things up 2-2. Matt Kemp has hit his 30th, and the Braves have tied the Mets 3-3. Here in D.C., no score, top 7. 2-2 to Altair with 1 out.
I'll tell you what, if Matt Kemp can drop 30 bombs in the shape he's in right now, if he dedicates himself, I mean, he could be one of the best players in the National League. I don't care how old he is. He's just hitting 30 in his sleep right now. About 30 pounds overweight. And he'd be the first to admit it. I got to get in better shape. He said it publicly. That's amazing.
2-2 again. And Altair having a solid at bat here. Max Scherzer up to 116 pitches. Started the inning with 99.
I mean, a double play is, I'm thinking, the only way Max stays in this game. Or finishes the inning.
Yeah, Zepchinski up 2 with the left-handed bat on deck. Got him looking. Aaron Altair takes it after fouling off some pitches. That's number 8 for Max Scherzer. And Cody Ashe, the left-handed batter, coming on to pinch hit.
I think Max knows his night is done. Dusty's on the top step. He's got a scorecard in his hand. He's about to make a change, but should be a pretty good ovation here for Max. You might want to give this a listen.
Yeah, because he's coming out of the game now, no way to get the W.
Double switch.
And Dusty will check in. Clint Robinson, the last man to bat in the 6th. A lot of names on those lineup cards these days. Dusty making sure he and Dave Rackley get everything right here. And now he's going to the mound.
But gave it everything he had. He should have had a better fate, but it's about to get loud right now. Let's give it a listen.
Wants to come out of a ball game. He can't get a win. So the last strike, the last out for him tonight, strikeout number 8 taken by Aaron Altair. Snapping the ball back into his glove, sensing he might be done. And then, of course, when Dusty comes out, second visit of the inning, and that was it. But a courageous effort again by Max Scherzer, and the crowd really honored him when he walked off. Washington area Toyota dealers helping children and their families. 8 strikeouts tonight. Every time the Nats throw one, it's $37 to the Children's Inn at the National Institutes of Health. Toyota, K's for kids. 31-year-old Mark Zepchinski is next. And after making 56 appearances with the Oakland A's, this would be number 8 for the Nats.
Got lots of ground balls. 70% of the time he gets a ground ball. Pretty good sinker. Low 90s, slider change to go with it.
On the double switch, Ryan Zimmerman bats 9th. Michael Franco's had a bad thumb. That's why he's not been playing much. But he's in here to pinch hit against Zepchinski. Swing and a miss. Zepchinski has matched up once with Michael Franco, and it was a base on balls. Way outside, 2-1.
Well, 3-1 to a dangerous hitter. Franco, anything close is going to be swinging out of his helmet right here, thinking 2-0. He is. He's a swinger, and those were 3 easy takes, not close. So I'm guessing strike, near strike. He is letting it rip.
22 homers, 73 RBIs on the year. Yeah, he's ripping. Got around late down toward the end of the bat, and Bryce Harper is there. And that's it for the Phillies in the top of the 7th. Scherzer, a tremendous battle tonight. And now the bottom of the Nats order, trying to take the lead. Telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Quite a ball game. 9 hits total. Great starting pitching by both ball clubs. And we're going bottom 7 with Danny Espinosa leading it off against 29-year-old Luis Garcia, just added to their bullpen today, his 9th appearance.
Yeah, good fastball, 96, slider to go with it at 85. 7.27 ERA. Nats trying to push one across. Captain Obvious says, first team that scores wins. I saw Captain Obvious here tonight, somewhere on left field.
Can't get enough of him here.
I love him.
Danny Espinosa with a walk 0 for 3 career against Garcia. Despite all that velocity, he's given up 13 hits in 8 2/3 innings. Limited big league action this year. Danny 0 for 1 with a walk. 1-1. Nationals box score. Ben Revere 1 for 3. A double in the first. And then Murphy a single in the third. The only hits by the first 5 hitters in the order. Clint Robinson on twice. Jose Lobaton on twice. Get out of there.
It's a good ball game.
Phillies have battled the Nats in this ballpark this year. It's 4-4 at Nationals Park between the two. Nats lead the season series overall 12-5 after dominating at the bank. 2-1 pitch.
The only thing I'm just a hair frustrated with is that call at the plate could have cost Max Scherzer his 17th win of the year, the most in the National League, and really put him in the lead for the Cy Young.
Agreed. '97 right by Danny. 1 out. 7th inning. Lobaton next. Inside the numbers brought to you by Jeep. And in the last 11 against the Phillies, the only win they had here was Thursday night. Nats hitting great with runners in scoring position. Homers, pitchers doing their jobs, and the defense has been tight. Lobaton adds 18 points onto his batting average with a base hit to left and 1 up the middle tonight. Bats against Garcia for the first time. Ball slapped out of play. Pretty good contact left field way. And to left, another good swing. More good contact. Requires a backhand grab by Altair on the track. Jose Lobaton somehow locking his bat in these days.
Mike gave it a ride. 3 good at-bats for Jose tonight. Well, that's a slider, and it looked like he thought he got it. Just maybe a little too much hang time for Altair to get back there and grab it.
Ryan Zimmerman first at bat tonight. 1 for 8 in the series, 0 for 5 career against Garcia. Ryan needs something to drop in somewhere. Good rip, 1-1.
That's the part that just drives you nuts when you're scuffling a little bit. You foul a ball back that you know you should have put in play, whether it's a double, an out, whatever. Even though it was 98, had a little hair on it.
1-2, and that's way inside. 86 on the off speed. If a slider at 86, I guess it's a little off speed from his heater. And Ryan out of the way, and the count's even 2-2. They have stopped Trey Turner tonight, and that's why the Nats don't have any runs on the board. 0 for 3. To the right side, and Cesar Hernandez. The Nationals go 1-2-3, bottom 7. It's up to the bullpens in a scoreless game, 8th inning. Have split the first 2, no score. Running the bases not just for the kids anymore with the purchase of a special ticket. Fans ages 60 and older can stroll the bases following the Nats D-backs. That's a Thursday game, 1:05 on September 29th. To get your seniors stroll the bases tickets, visit nationals.com/seniorsstroll.
Why'd they make you read that one?
It's just a coincidence.
It's not nice. You don't look a day over 50.
Thank you, sir. After my wife walked me all over Philly and New York last week, glad to still be standing.
Yeah, the plastic surgery is really paying off.
Cesar Hernandez, his splits pretty impressive from the right side this year. He's at .325. 0 for 1 with a walk against Zebchinski. Mark 5 pitches, 2 strikes to get Franco out, ending the 7th. And of course then Odubel Herrera, a left-handed batter. So this bridge to the 8th inning set up well for Zebchinski and Dusty Baker. That ball's hit well. Going back. Ben Revere short of the track. 1 out. Nats and Phillies tomorrow. One of these teams would be going for 3 out of 4. So Gio looking for number 11. He's 9-6 career against the Phillies and had a win there on the last road trip. 1 run, 2 hits, 6 innings. Adam Morgan 2-9. He was the loser to Gio and the Nats in that game of the last day of August. We'll get you going at 1 o'clock with Nats Extra, Masson 2. We'll join you from the booth at 1:30, and Gio will throw first pitch 5 minutes or so after that. Here's Herrera 0 for 3 tonight. Ball 1. Herrera 1 for 4 career against Mark Zebchinski.
We got 13 more choices out there if you're Dusty Baker.
Sean Kelly. Tell you, Mark Melancon gets up early, doesn't he?
He does. He's got a routine, 8th inning every night. He shadow throws out there without a baseball. Always deeks me to thinking he gets up early, but that's just part of his routine.
It was kind of funny how Jose Lobaton looked down in his mitt and saw that ball still in there on a foul tip. Still alive.
You see why he gets so many ground balls. You see some awkward swings. Herrera swung at that like it was a slider, and you look up, it was 91. It was a 2-seam fastball.
Counts even 2-2. Counts full with Andres Blanco on deck.
But you just have to get this to the bottom of the 8th at 0-0 with Trey Turner leading off.
That'd be huge.
Yeah, that guy. It's going to be good someday. Just keep your head up. Things will get better. Just put the past behind you.
Well, he didn't have a hit yesterday until the 7th inning, and it turned out okay. That is on the inside edge. Herrera backed up. The pitch got the front door, and 2 outs, 8th inning.
Yeah, I thought it was a good pitch. Just caught the inside corner probably. Started it right at him, brought it back. Good frame by Lobaton. Throw around. Look at the circle on the slider. Excuse me.
So here's Blanco, whose right-handed split's not very good. 219. $50-some points under his left-handed numbers. Two and 0. back in the count with 91. And this ball driven toward right center. Long run for Turner. Can't get there. One hops the scoreboard, thinking three, and then stopping is Andres Blanco. Right-handed batter on deck, Tommy Joseph. Runner in scoring position, 2 outs.
This ball just tailing away from Trey too much to be able to catch. You see the slider, the dot on the slider. He saw that too, and he just lets the throttle out and drives this into right center field. And you'll see the slice on the ball. Even with Trey's speed, he can't get to it, plays it off the wall. So a 2-out double for the Phillies. And it looks like Tommy Joseph has a chance to be a hero. Dusty has to get it righty here, doesn't he?
Yeah. So Kelly's been ready alongside Melanson. Mark Zebczynski will pitch 1 inning, give up a hit. Responsible for the runner at second. Righty-righty matchup straight ahead. Brought to you by University of Maryland, University College, and by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. They're standing and they're loving it out in center field tonight.
He's telling you, look at all the Pokemon I caught tonight. Are you impressed?
Well, Blanco got a hold of one, didn't he? Now it's Kelly against Joseph. And for Sean Kelly, it equals his career high in games. 59 set 2 years ago as a Yankee.
Well, league hitting .215 off the fastball slider combo.
And Pete Buchanan does not go to Ryan Howard here. He's going to stay with his young slugger, Tommy Joseph, in this matchup. First time this pitcher and hitter face each other. Time given really early. Tommy Joseph tonight 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the 6th, the Max Scherzer curveball. And that was sliding down and away from the right-handed batter.
And as long as you can locate it, that's a pitch. That's a pitch that Max struck him out on in the 3rd inning. The slider down the way, I think.
Popped up. Murphy pointing at it. Bryce Harper is under it. And the Nats pitching brilliant tonight. Scherzer, Zebczynski, and now a big out for Kelly. Here comes Trey, bottom of the 8th, straight ahead. next year. So why not check out that 2017 Nats Plus membership that are on sale right now? You get postseason tickets for this year and guarantee access to the 2018 All-Star Game. Exclusive appearances, rewards, and access that membership provides. All right, there's the website. The phone number 202-675-NETS. Trey Turner facing Luis Garcia for the first time. He's got a 6-game hitting streak on the line here. Ball one.
Good take, just missed.
Way outside.
See, this is where the guy's got 8 home runs. He had 2 last night. He's a leadoff hitter. Normally in this situation, 100% of the time in a tie game in the 8th, you're taking here. But with this guy, I don't think you do. He's different than 99% of leadoff hitters.
Yeah, and with that in mind, the Phillies didn't throw him a fastball, did they?
I'm telling you, 99 guys out of 100 that are leadoff hitters with his speed. 2-0, bottom of the 8th, you're taken. But not with Trey Turner. That's the right move.
Did he check? He did not. 2-2.
Well, Trey didn't like the call. Let's look at it from the side. I thought Clint Robinson's was worse.
Yeah, tough night for 50-50 calls. 2-2 to Turner. Counts full.
Huge pitch coming. I mean, this is the biggest pitch of the ball game right now, by far.
And Turner gets around late and flies it to right. Peter Borges, 4 straight for Garcia. The Nats have 2 lefties coming up here. They've been warming, the Phillies have. Patrick Schuster in their bullpen, their only lefty. Looks like no move coming here.
Might be saving Schuster for Murphy and Harper.
Ben Revere 0 for 1 with a walk against Luis Garcia. Up the middle, base hit. It's going to roll on through. And Ben Revere has a 2 for 4 night.
Game on. Get your best hitter coming up. Ben Revere chops one off the plate. Pete McCannon going to Schuster in the bullpen. So left on left matchup coming. We'll see if Ben Revere can get a read on him, but I think he hangs out and lets Daniel Murphy hit. We shall see.
Bottom of the 8th, leading hitter in the league, waiting for you to come back.
Stylist, of course. Look at Jason Worth. You got a straggler here. It's just hanging down. I don't know what to do with it. What do you want me to do with it? Do you want me to cut it off? Do you want me to rip it off? Just curl it up and put it back in. Okay, I got you. No, it's not going. It's not doing anything. I tried. Jason Worth, hairstylist. I mean, he knows something about long hair. They got the situation fixed in case you're worried. They're all set.
Here's Patrick Schuster's second appearance of the series. Now, last night in the 7th inning, he came in to face Daniel Murphy and hit him with a pitch, then got Bryce Harper on a ground ball. So right here, it's Revere on first, 12 steals on the year. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 8th in a scoreless game.
I'm going with rally here. We haven't done rally anything in a while.
That ball's in the dirt, and Revere was off and running as soon as he saw that ball heading low. Wild pitch, lead run in scoring position.
Well, you remember last night Schuster had all kinds of problems throwing strike. They hit the plate and kicked back the other way. So rally here good for at least 90 feet. Here it is. Rally locks.
Fans are chanting MVP. 1-0 to Murphy. Way out there, 2-0.
This is where, as a hitter, you just have to focus on the process, the pitch. Put a good swing on it. If you start thinking, if I get a hit, we win, or at least we go ahead, you get outside of what you're supposed to be thinking up there.
That one gets the outside edge.
I don't think Murph thought it did.
Schuster working for that first base end of the pitching rubber to create that angle. Oh my. Now on the other side of the plate, it's 2-2.
Murph could take a little stroll and regroup. I don't know if this one came back. The other one was close. So Alter's playing shallow and left because of the speed of Ben Revere in second. Murphy hits the ball hard that way. He has a chance to burn him here, especially in a left-on-left matchup.
Three and two. That was interesting. At the start of this at bat, the Phillies were playing the outfield deeper, and then when it got to a strike and then two, they came in.
Well, they have to be in a position to throw out the base runner. If the base runner's fast, you cheat in even more. So everybody's super shallow against a power hitter. The gaps are wide open for Daniel Murphy. Wide open.
Payoff pitch, way outside. Murphy on for the second time tonight, and it'll be 2 on for Bryce Harper.
Well, even though it's a left-on-left matchup, Bryce is happy that Jared Eichhoff isn't in there anymore. He had trouble picking him up tonight, and he can turn a rough night into an awesome night here with a base hit, one swing.
Bryce looking for his second RBI of this series or more.
Boy, outfield's still super shallow. Ben Revere has to be ready for a ball in the dirt here. He's going to throw him some sliders.
That's low, 1-1.
Yeah, Ben Revere's looking for it. He's extending a huge secondary lead. He's ready for that slider in the dirt. And it would be a huge 90 feet in this situation. Huge.
One with one out. Close, and it's ball 2.
That was real close. And that's a huge pitch. It's 1-2 versus 2-1. Now Bryce is in the driver's seat. Whew. The red one's a strike. The green one isn't.
Great crowd tonight, 36,152. They've been in it throughout. They loved what they saw from Max. Now they want some offense. There it goes, right field side. If it's fair, it's gone. It is a home run. Number 24, 80 RBIs, and the Nats on top 3-0.
That's grinding, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely grinding. Bryce Harper did not make contact with one swing tonight until that one right there to put his team ahead 3-0. You take a bad night and turn it into a great night and potentially win the ball game for your ball club. Unbelievable stuff from Bryce Harper. Got to do a 3-1 count. And then Schuster just lays a slider right down the middle, and there was just a matter if it stayed fair. He knew it. You saw the bat flip, a fist pump. We haven't seen the fist pump from Bryce all year. He's been so stoic with his emotions when he does well this year. That's the first time we've seen him pump a fist. Looking into the dugout. Welcome to September baseball, everybody. That was awesome.
We don't often stay during pitching changes, but why leave now?
Well, I'll show you the pitch sequence between Schuster and Bryce Harper. He fell behind 3-1. First pitch was a slider away. That was the 9th time, I believe, that Bryce has swung and missed tonight, maybe the 10th. Then he gets it into a 3-1 count right here and finally makes contact. And it's not just any old contact, it's a tater. His 24th of the season, and if it stayed fair, you knew it was gone, and it was way fair, or just fair, however you want to put it. And this place just lost its mind. I mean, he needed that, and his ball club needed that. That was huge.
Yeah, Bryce Harper having a season that many considered substandard. Well, how does 24-80 sound right now?
I mean,
with 3 weeks to go in the season.
He created that monster for himself, though. The historic season he had last year.
So Michael Marriott is the new Philadelphia pitcher. Nats have a couple of right-handers coming up. Still only one out in the inning. Rendon and Robinson, pardon me, the righty, then the lefty. So here's Michael Marriott of the Phils. We've seen him a couple of times now on the year, 15th appearance, over a 6.5 ERA. Anthony Rendon, strike one. How to play right side. We saw Stephen Drew. He would be hitting next for Clint Robinson. He's swinging it pretty well since he got back.
So fastball, slider, curveball, free breakfast for Marriott. Fastball average is 93.
Melanson now, ninth inning set up for him. Will the Nats lead by 3 or more? Into the 10 o'clock hour, and Nationals Park in the last 4 minutes or so as loud as it's been all year. Huge crowd, Saturday night, and Bryce Harper, the defending MVP, just thrilled them almost beyond words. It's a swing and a miss by Rendon, 2 outs in the inning. And now Stephen Drew.
Well, even though Anthony Rendon struck out, his hair got the Nats 3 runs with the rally locks.
Jason Worth only available on off days for that.
You know, it's tough to get an appointment with him. It really is. You got to book at least 3 weeks out.
And by the way, it was the pitcher spot Drew's batting for here, not Clint Robinson. He was replaced at first by Ryan Zimmerman. Double switch recently. So Ryan's still with us. He's batting ninth. And a swing and a miss. Drew 300 as a pinch hitter. 6 for 23 homers, 6 RBIs. Simply fantastic in that role. There's Coda Glover in the background in case the Nats make it a non-save situation. Swing and a miss. Drew gone. So are the Nats, but what a bottom of the 8th. Rivera base hit, Murphy a walk, and Bryce Harper here at home. One of the most dramatic moments of the 2016 season. Extra post game. Johnny Holiday back with us tonight. He's with Ray, and it's all presented by W.B. Mason. When this one's over, Mark Melancon on the mound. Bryce right now, the home run hero. And let's have another look at that swing.
Why not? I mean, you don't get to see a potential game-winning home run on the bottom of the 8th from Bryce Harper every day. And an epic bat flip, by the way. And if you're wondering if that's okay, it absolutely is. When you hit a home run in September and you're trying to clinch a division and you have a full house at Nats Park, that is totally in play, and I don't think anybody in the other dugout had a problem with it.
Mark Melancon, 20th appearance for the Nats. 9 saves so far with our ball club.
Here, look at the numbers. 1.67 ERA, 54 strikeouts, 12 walks. Righties hitting 198, lefties 232. So fastball low 90s and a nasty knuckle curve. Fastball cuts all over the place.
Cameron Rupp, ball 1. Out of play, right side. Cameron Rupp, 1-for-1 career against Mark Melancon.
Give Daniel Murphy a lot of credit too for taking his walk there and letting the line move to Bryce. And Ben Revere for leading that thing off with a single. There were some good at-bats in that inning.
Yeah, nice night for Ben. 2 for 3. Murphy on twice. 1-1. It stays upstairs.
I'm not sure who Ben's talking to out there right now. There's nobody near him.
There's nobody around.
I mean, he might be. Baseball do that to you, man. It'll make you talk to yourself.
A little bit outside, 3-1.
Yeah, he is. He's talking to. I mean, he might have a friend out there that we can't see, but he's not talking to Trey because Trey's about 300 feet away. It's all right, Ben. I do the same thing.
Swing and a miss on a pitch up. Real quickly, the Braves are batting bottom 9, tied. There's that cutter.
That's not where he wanted it. He got away with one.
Tapper by the mound. Here comes Danny. Glove, arm, got him. Who would you want at shortstop in a situation like that that's any better in this league?
He hesitated for a little bit, and I'm not sure he read the hop clearly, and the ball was almost out of his glove, and he still has enough arm to make up for it. Maybe he slipped. There was something weird when he was going for the baseball, but what a play by Danny Espinosa on the snow cone. Saw that part, and the transfer probably threw a changeup there, still around 90. And he just gets him. What a play.
Freddie Galvis, 1 for 3 tonight. 0 for 1 against Melancon career. Mark actually got the win last night when he pitched a scoreless ninth, and then the Nats walked off. Counts even on the foul ball.
I'm just not used to not being nervous right now. I think I need to talk to somebody. I need some counseling.
Ben Revere will chat with you.
I'm serious.
1 and 2.
In 6 years in a 9th inning, a safe situation, I've been nervous, so I don't know how to handle this right now. So I'm just going to sit back and watch with you guys at home and not be nervous. My palms aren't sweating.
Swing and a miss, and a very tardy one at that. 2 down. Peter Borges, the final hope for the Phils. And here comes Rendon, and here come the Nats with their 84th win of the year. A nice, boring top of the 9th inning. Mark Melancon has 10 saves with the Nats, 40 on the year.
And the Nats go to 26 games over 500 for the first time this year. And who knows, maybe that was a Bryce Harper, everybody jump on my back moment for the rest of this season. We'll see.
That would be wonderful. Phillies leave 7, the Nats left 6. 3-0. Now the Nats will go for 3 out of 4 tomorrow.